There you are. Welcome, welcome. This is my first big show for Guerrilla Poetry. The last one, I think you were there, and you were there, and yeah, that's about it. No, you were there. So this is really fun. I'm glad everybody showed up. Thank you. It's gonna be a really good time tonight. We have a beatboxer. They're getting warmed up right now for the intro. So I'm actually gonna do a little segment I like to call Guerrilla News. And this is current events, guerrilla style. So, how many people know that there's an actual Guerrilla News network out there? Oh, we got one! She's heard of it? Okay, it's guerrillanews.com. And they're an alternative news site, and they basically just give links to all these different sites. So, the first one that I found, about a week and a half ago, they gave a link to an article on a NAGR, which is the National Association for Gun Rights magazine, and I was like, Guerrilla News, what are you doing? You're selling out on me! So I looked at it, and it was actually a very interesting article about a man in Shreveport, Louisiana, who was pulled over supposedly for not using a turn signal. But he had a bunch of pro-gun decals on the back of his truck, and they actually confiscated his weapon. He was carrying a concealed weapon, but he had a concealed to carry license, and they still confiscated his weapon for some unknown reason, right? So this guy goes and calls the Mayor Cedric Glover, and he told him that the town police have a power that the President of the United States does not have. His cops can apparently take away rights as they please. And Glover went on to say that it was only a suspension of his rights. Right. Louisiana, yet another place my Iranian-looking face should not go. Let's see, what else was in the news? Story on the barrier reef is disappearing. Blah, 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 whatever. That's been happening forever. And they say we're in need of a 21st century Noah's Ark to save the life of the reef. Basically, they want to spend all this money and all this gas and energy to transplant the barrier reef into a museum and grow it there. But the gas is what's killing the barrier reef. Does that make sense to anybody else? Okay, moving on. They got some good dirt on Obama. He's building a castle in Pakistan. Do you guys know about this? Well, they call it an embassy, right? $736 million for an embassy. What are they gonna have on that embassy? Helicopter pads on the top. It's basically another way for the government to say that, to pass off the money to a different budget. So it's not part of the military budget because we're already spending only $102 billion a year on military bases around the world. So they labeled them embassies, and I was just thinking, maybe we should stop meddling in other countries and fix the economy here. Could we close some bases around the country and around the world and help us here? I really think the money that we could save closing bases around the world could do a lot for us here at home. But baby steps, you know. So the last embassy that Bush built was to the tune of $740 million in Baghdad, the big giant one they built after we went in. So we saved $4 million, right? So maybe the next one, $732 million, we could just baby steps, work it on down, you know? I don't know. I get all depressed when I read the news. I don't know about y'all. But on the lighter side, we have some people in the news. How about Sarah Palin? She's back in the news.
Boo hiss. She resigned.
Boo. She resigned.
Yay.
Yes, you're up on current events. So she resigned. And then the UrbanDictionary.com is a pretty popular site out there, I guess. And they actually already had a term called pull a Palin. And what it means is to avoid answering questions directly because you don't know the answer, or you don't want the person to know, the person to whom you are talking to know the real answer, and talking about another subject you do know something about, or something to flatter or distract the other person instead. So that was already in there, but after this recent resignation, they added pulling a Palin, whole separate definition, and that means quitting when the going gets tough, abandoning the responsibility entrusted to you by your neighbors for book advances and to make money on a lecture circuit, and number 2, bizarre move that will damn ambitions for higher office. So good job, Miss Palin. Oh, and Miss Palin's ex-son-in-law, Levi Johnson, was married to was the fiance for her daughter Bristol Palin, has actually come out publicly and said that Palin is leaving office for the money, for the book deals, the TV shows, and you know, I say, here's to you, Miss Palin. You're living the American dream. You're avoiding all real responsibility, and you're milking your fame until the udder is dry. Then you get the cow pregnant again, and you steal its babies away so you can have more milk. Pro-life? Ha! I say no. What about the baby cows, Miss Palin? What about the baby cows? All right. That's all I got for the news. That's what's happening in our world today. Oh yeah, Michael Jackson died too. I didn't really want to do a story on that.
Michael Jackson died a long time ago.
See, it was weeks ago. That's old news.
No.
Well, yeah. Well, the alien that was pretending to be him was still alive. So, he's dead now.